How you been, dude? It's been a little while, eh?
Oh man, I'm doing great. It's fucking, we're just kind of tripping, man. All the feedback from the record and everything. It's just kind of like it's cool, man. After all these years, 7 records, 20 years, and people are just really understanding what they've been missing. So it's exciting, man. It's a hell of a week.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. And there it is behind you up there. I love that cover. That's the record. Uh,
Yeah,
and is that the green one? That green one's.
yeah, man. They sent each of us one of these ones, man. It's badass looking. It's
Man,
fucking dope.
I'm gonna get my hands on one of those when it drops
It's
down here.
it's dope, and I think yeah, it's a limited run on the green, and then they're gonna do like a red and a yellow and all these other ones. So, super stoked. That's all I know. It's just fucking awesome, dream come true type of stuff.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to put it on the turntable and turn it up and introduce it to my neighbors, you know?
It sounds bitching. I can't wait to do that too. I'm gonna do that on Friday all day and just blow them away.
Are they used to it? Are they into
No, they don't like my
it?
metal, man. I was raging it when I first got it mixed and stuff in the early days, and I had one of my old dudes come over and try to talk some shit, but I just still left it up. I don't care.
Oh man, that's a yeah. I've just got new neighbors now. They're like, oh,
Oh,
yeah, I'm a musician. They're like, oh, okay. It's like, welcome to the. It's like that, that ugly kid Joe song, neighbor.
oh yeah, I love that, man. You got to break them in though. It'll
You
be
do,
good for them to realize who's the boss in the neighborhood.
yeah. That's it. But man, of course, Savage New Times, that one. It's out this week, and it's so good, man, because it's got all the classic sort of insight stuff we love, but it's got a few twists and turns, and
Yeah,
man, it's there's lots going on in this album. You put so much into it. You can
I
hear it.
I, I really love to hear that because yeah, we did, man, and like I love the natural progression of the band. This record makes so much sense coming from like Wake Up Dead into this, and that vibe we tried to reestablish on Wake Up Dead is in full bloom on this album, and Lennon and Lane really put together incredible music. For me and L to do what we needed to do, and Steve and everybody involved. So hats off to them, man, and just loving everybody feeling the vibe of it right now. It's cool. Like I said, to have that after all these records and all these years is just really cool, man. I felt like we were getting rid off for a while there, so dope to be like, nah, we're still kicking some ass hard.
Well, you just came back from was it Summer Slaughter?
Yeah, that was really dope, man. With Hatebreed and
Yeah.
Fugitive and Bleeding Through, like that tour was sick, man. We hadn't been on the road in over a year and a half, dealing with this record and everything, and like that to be like, Jamie being like, "Yo, dude, I've heard this album. I want to take you guys out. I want people to know what the hell's going on." Was like, just a dream come true, and just pure class on all the crew and the bands and everybody, and the metalheads coming out was just it was badass, dude.
How was it playing the new stuff like? Because that's always exciting, when you sort of get out there
Yeah.
and you get to like road test it. Like, how was it,
Yeah.
jamming on that stuff?
Well, that was the best part because literally by the time we hit that tour, we had already had so many singles out, so we were able to literally,
Mhm.
play three brand new songs every night, and it worked well for us because our set time was like 20 minutes, and a lot of the older catalog is in those like 4 minutes, 3 4 minute song
Yeah.
range. So that was like, that was really helpful to have these blistering badass tracks and kind of test them out and see what people were feeling. And it was dope. We did Lies, Just a Rat, and No Mercy, No Forgiveness. And it was just like you could feel the change in the room when we
Yeah.
we we went from the first three songs and then went to those three songs. It was just like each guy got more amped up, the crowd got crazier, and it just you could see what these songs are doing, and it's cool to see that in a live setting more than anything because that's really what we write tunes for, to kick ass live.
Yeah, it's got the spice, man. I can't wait to
Yeah,
hopefully see it down here. Like, holy
It-
shit.
uh,
So,
that's what I'm saying, man. I'm hoping to get back there. Like we went there in like 2010,
yeah.
and we weren't ready for kicking ass then. We were just getting our bearings together, and now with everything we've done. And I'm just hoping that the promoters and the other bands are like, yo, let's take these dudes down there, because fuck, man, I'm having a lot of feedback from the Australian and New Zealand and all that area, dying to have us down there. So hopefully.
Oh man, we'd love to see you down here again. It's been way too long, bro, between beers. But man, of course, the title is definitely relevant to what's going on in the world right now, especially for you guys over there. But there's
Yeah.
also more of a personal meaning to it, right?
Yeah, that's what's cool. Like for us to have made it as a personal title, kind of like what we were each going through our personal lives, and as well as the band itself, and then it like by the time it's kind of released and put out there, the world has altered so much in 6 months. So now people are like, damn, y'all like made this record that relates so well to what's happening in the environment and society and stuff. So like that's cool about music. I think the, the meaning of it can evolve and grow and change as time goes, and the big picture plays itself out. So it's cool. Like it just trips me out how it warped into that.
Lyrically, there's some stuff on here you're absolutely spitting venom, dude. Like it's savage shit. But looking back on it, obviously that's a snapshot on a time period of your life. Like now
Yeah.
it's coming out. Like, do you sort of see some of those lyrics differently now? Like, has it sort of, helped you sort of through some stuff, getting it out there?
Oh, definitely. Prior to like writing this record, and when I was dabbling with lyrics along the way, it was like I was silenced. I couldn't speak my words out
Mm.
in public or to these people like I wanted to, because A, that's not who I am, and B, it was just like my time comes when I write my records, and that's when I get to scathe you, or I get to destroy you, or say what I had to say that I didn't get to. And people were just fucking with me from everywhere, man. Whether it was like online harassment or like former, band members that were in my parents' crew. It was like it was just so weird. And then dealing with like divorce and financial fucking craziness, like everything was just coalescing when I was doing this album. And I think it kind of been that way for every album, but this was just so different. Now I'm kind of matured and adult, and I think again Lennon and Lane putting this music together, that I could feel like I was the most comfortable to spit this kind of shit, and I love how it goes from a record that's kind of like very venomous, and it's setting people straight, like Just a Rat or Lies or Chucked Off. But then Dolores creates that shift where it becomes a positive stand up for yourself, take your power back, your voice, your strength kind of record, with like Used and Abused to Savage New Times, the song. So it's a cool introspective ride, and I think people are noticing my lyrical writing, I think, for the first time ever. Usually they're just, oh, that's some cool shit. But I think I was able to really transform my voice, my style, my writing ability, and just kind of like have it hit harder and more focused.
100%, man. You can feel it when you hear it, especially when you turn it up. Like, man, because I usually listen to stuff on my commute to work, which is like an hour or
Oh
more.
yeah.
And I just cranked it, man, and just let it sort of. And I was like, oh, it's spicy, dude. But there's also stuff in here that I fucking loved. Like, where is it? It's in Doubts and the Fear, in Fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know what I'm getting at. There's like this Alice in Chains type breakdown type. I can't even describe it, but it sort of goes into this section, and it's so fucking cool, man. And then you got the piano intro and outro to Dolores. And there's all these little bits and pieces that really sort of break it up and help tell the story. It's incredible, dude.
Yeah, I think that was like a lot of what we've been trying to get to. I think when you listen to a record like Up in Hell, and then we were dabbling, that's when Lennon and L joined the
Mm.
band. And that's where you feel where we begin to start our progress with songs like Fallen and To the Depths, really just taking it to a different place. And then you kind of had Oppression and Built to Destroy, which, our old guitar player just kind of took our progression naturally away, and that's what we were left hostage negotiating to deal with, and then it's like Wake Up Dead returns back to that progression from Up in Hell, where we should have went to. And, that's where we created that. And then this album, it was like Lane comes in and he's in that same progressive vibe that we're reaching for. And, he's like, dude, I know how to like rip 12-string guitar and I know how to play, full grand pianos and all this shit. And it was like, now we're not being held back. We were allowed to fully exert, who we
Yeah.
wanted to be. And we're a heavy metal band and we want to take parts from everything of metal that we love, whether it's thrash or groove or punk or, like grind or whatever it is, and really fuse it. And, to have that bridge that comes in on Doubts and the Fears, which is like one of my favorite songs, and
Yeah, mine too.
it just creates this atmosphere, like you said. And it's something different. Even like the end of Lies, like you do not expect that to come in from that
Mm.
song that you just heard, and I think that's what's cool about metal and this style that we're doing is you're not forcing this stuff. It's just it's a natural feel. You don't expect it, but it's so natural when it happens that you're like, damn, those dudes smoked it on that. Like, and that's what we want to be. That's the band we've been wanting to be since day one, is that really that vibe, that ride, heavy, but you can bob your head and feel some dark shit at the same time.
It sounds like, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. You guys are coming into like a new phase or a new beginning.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
you obviously, new record, new chapter, and new label,
Oh yeah. Everything. New
like that, everything.
management,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is it's how do you feel about all that? I mean, obviously it's that shift and some of those changes can sometimes be difficult, but then when you get through it, it sounds like the train's starting to really take out the station and head.
Oh yeah. It's a trip, dude. Because like I said, I felt written off. I felt like, damn, we might not even make another album. Like, people are like, oh, they've done six. They're not really getting bigger. They haven't really made a hit album or a hit song, and we've just kind of been that band that's just been grinding along, taking any tour we can, and just slowly building an underground thing. And with the current time that happened, it's like we went to like Dez from Devil Driver to manage us. And, unfortunately, we were so excited about that. But then it was like, unfortunately, he had like health problems with him, his wife, and, things happened. And that was like a total letdown again. And then it's like, we have no record label. Our manager just fucking imploded on us. And we don't know what to do. But we knew that we had the Cavalera tour, and that was kind of like our moment in 2023 where it was like, this is all or nothing for this band, and we have to play like that and we have to present that. And we did. And from that tour, it's like we got on Reigning Phoenix label, which I mean, Meshuggah and Opeth and just Kerry King, and so much badass music, and Gerardo and his brother Oscar being the head of that. Just they're dogs, man, and they work and people respect them. So it was like, damn, we just hit the home run with that. And then it was like, then we get this new management that is managing like Testament and Exodus and Death Angel, and it was like, dude, this is what the hell is going on here? And like, then it's like we go to record the album, and then we got that back, and we're like, dude, this is, I don't like to get too excited because I've been let down before, but it's like, you always wonder how those bands finally broke out. And this is what I imagine was like, all those pieces and team comes together and it just starts working. And it's like they changed the whole narrative in the media from how people were approaching us, from like, oh, it's just Richie's band and Max. But now it's like, dude, these dudes have ripped for a long time, and there's killer songs that we all just kind of didn't know about or didn't get a check out. So to have that happening 20 years into your career is awesome. And that's why I tell anybody in metal, like, don't give up, don't quit, because that shit can literally happen at any moment. It just takes the right situation and the right universal fucking powers taking place. And that's what's cool about us lasting this long and like finally having our success. We didn't blow our load at the gate.
Yeah, man, 100%. It
you
happens,
know
man. It's happened to me. Like I've been doing all this stuff for like 20 years, and you get to a point sometimes where you go, "Oh man, like why am I grinding?" And then just something will just go out of the blue. You know what I mean?
Totally, man.
And
When you
and
feel
then
at the downest.
yeah, fucking wild. It
Yeah.
happened to me
Uh,
this year, dude. Well, last year, end of last year. So it's like, not on your level, but my own thing going on down here. It's crazy, dude.
yeah, and that's what life's all about, having those wins when you feel like it's just, you've reached that point of like, I quit? Have I just
Yeah.
wasted all this time? I could have been like a doctor or a lawyer by now, but it's like, no, hell no. I did what I wanted to do and what I loved. There's headaches in anything you do, and that's just going to be natural in this because, you know, you're competing against basically every metal band that's ever been. When you start a
Yeah.
metal band, you're not just like competing against like a genre or a couple bands. It's every band that's ever been in metal is still around and still selling and trying to promote. So
Yeah.
it's not an easy thing. You don't just get it, like a lot of people think you do. And that's what's cool to see it. It makes you positive in other forms of your life, where it's like, maybe shit'll get better there too.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And of course,
It's cool.
coming up in the Arizona scene, how was that and how would you compare it to where it is now? Because I know our scene down here has definitely changed a lot. Are you
Yeah.
noticing a lot of the scene over there musically, or the bands changed, or
You
how
know,
how is it?
Arizona has always had a great metal scene. I think it's the heat, nothing to do. I really believe that. When we started, there was endless small clubs to play. There were tons of local tiny promoters and tons of bands. It was like just a great place for you to get started, to learn, to grow a little bit in the
Mm.
business and figure that stuff out. And it like it was really easy to find musicians and all that. And it's remained that same way. We just did a show there just a couple weeks ago, and killer local bands on it, killer promoter that I've literally booked the first INCITE show in Arizona is still kicking ass today and still pumping shows out. And the scene there is just, it's never really wavered, and I love that. We may not like produce an exorbitant amount of bands on the national stage, but we have like bands like Job for a Cowboy, and um, then you have Gate Creeper, and
Mm.
a lot that's kind of like dead, who also made some noise. And yeah, you're just kind of seeing that happen now, and that's really cool. And I think America in general right now is cranking out incredible metal, from like the scene in Texas with like Creeping Death, and then you go to like the East Coast and you got 200 Stab Wounds and Undead and all those killer bands that are taking off. And LA has killer bands. So I think it's just an overall exciting time for heavy music. Even some bands out of India I've been checking out, and it's just like, damn, dude, like, let's go, man. Metal's that music that can like reshape societies and bring people together, and spark revolutions, by the messages that it brings to people that haven't felt that.
Talking about bands from India, have you heard Gut Slit?
Oh, I haven't heard them yet. No. I
Man, they're
checked
great.
out System House 33, and I was just like, holy shit, man. And then it's crazy what they're doing. What's that band you said?
Gut Slit.
Gut Slit. That sounds
Yeah,
badass.
they are bad. They're mad. We're playing with them here next week
Okay.
in
Oh
Brisbane. They're,
shit.
they're doing their first ever Australian tour, but
That's dope.
man, they're doing massive stuff overseas. They're so
I love this.
filthy.
I absolutely love it. And that you're hearing like a lot of the throat singing bands like you and
Yeah.
Tangan Cavalry and all these different things that we never were exposed to. And it's vice versa. Like, they're getting to see what we're about, and we're seeing what they're about. And that's great, man. It's metal's like the biggest I've ever seen it in my life right now.
Cool, huh? And there's so many bands that are just you just turn them up and you're just like, man, they're one of them, man. And Australia is bringing out a lot of bands as well. Metal, we're
Oh yeah.
doing something. I don't know. Metal's
Oh
doing
yeah.
the deathcore metalcore thing at the moment. I don't know,
Oh,
but it's like the alt metal. I don't know. We're
it's good
sending them
though.
all over
Like
your way.
Parkway Drive and
Mm.
all the other bands you guys have produced over the years. It's cool that you guys are one of those countries that constantly does since the 2000s produced incredible metal and metalcore bands, and you're even seeing like King Parrot really finally start to get the attention that they have
Yeah,
deserved. And it's cool time, man. Everywhere it's just really really kicking ass.
yeah. No, 100%, 100%. Yeah, the King Parrot dudes, I think are over there now.
Yeah, doing like Pantera shows, and I see their headline shows are drawing a lot more now from
Yeah,
all the things they've done, and that's just great, man. You want
yeah.
to see bands that have grinded, get that little bit of love and have a chance.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. Of course, Insight's taken you all around the world. You've done some crazy shit in the last 20 years. But,
Oh yeah.
what's the wildest situation that you found yourself in? Because every band has that one situation where you go, how the fuck did we get out of this one?
Oh, bro. I'd say easily when the tree fell on us in a blizzard. Um, so this is like 2019, we were on tour with Unearthed, and we had to drive from like Oregon to California with a show back to back. And, you're going through this pass, and, the blizzard starts, and it's pretty bad. The window looks like you're going warp speed type shit. So, uh, you start hearing like trees cracking. You're like, damn, that's kind of scary. And I'm sitting there rolling a joint, and L's driving, and it's just me and him. The rest of the dudes are sleeping, and just like out of nowhere, dude, it was just like boom, bro, and the whole window is like completely shattered. There's a tree sticking through it. We're just kind of like, what the fuck is that? You're covered in glass, and the whole van's glass, and you're just kind of thankful to be alive at that moment. And it was like, fuck, man, we're gonna miss this show is like all we thought about,
Oh, man.
and we like had dude, you had a hole, like it was like the size of like a quarter, and that was all you could see out of the window. And we're trying to drive looking through that hole, and our heads out the window like Ace Ventura type shit. And we ended up driving, I think it was about 45 miles like that after this tree, with the tree on the window, and the whole van just fucked. And you couldn't move because you just slice yourself. So you literally just sat there and drove, through this blizzard. Cars are stuck everywhere. We're spinning out too here and there trying to maintain this. And, we were just like, fuck, man, maybe this is the one show we finally cancel, And I was like, hell no, I ain't doing that shit. And we took the van and like dropped it off in this small town, and all jumped into a rental car and fucking drove 300 more miles, and literally pulled up at our stage time and went from that car on the stage, and had like one of the coolest shows we've ever had. And then got to just kind of sit back and be like, what the fuck was that? Like, it was nuts, man. And I must have flew back like a week after the tour to go get the van, and just seeing it, like was like, dude, how did we live, let alone like make a show? So that was pretty much the craziest thing I think I've had to deal with. And I don't think anything can touch that, or even challenge me in that way. It was just nuts, man.
Knock on wood, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Knock on that.
exactly.
Just hammer that tree. Man, holy shit, that's wild.
It was crazy, bro. And like that's just that's the example of this band. Like we're grinders. We don't take any of this for granted, man. We cherish every moment, every show,
Yeah.
every part of this. And that was just a great example of like how dope my guys are too, to have that same drive and willpower, and not just be like, oh fuck it, it's just a show. Who cares?
That's unreal. But of course, what's coming up for you after this? What's on the way?
Yeah, so we got like maybe 3 weeks left. We just got home a week ago from tour, so we got about 3 weeks left, and then we hit the road again with 6 Feet Under, Exhort, Exhumed, no,
Hmm.
Exhorter,
Yeah.
and then us. So that's like 5.5 weeks all over America. And then I believe we kind of shut it down for the November, December for the holidays, and then get back swinging early next year. I think it's going to be like hopefully some Australia and Europe, and a lot of like the more international stuff next year, and really focus on hitting that, because since COVID, it's really been a struggle for us to do those kind of things, and get back to the international, which was like our lifeline in the early days of this band. So we can't be neglecting the real, true, diehard metalheads that have been there for us.
Australia 2026. Let's go. Come down
Yeah,
here.
like
We'll do that run,
I'm
bro.
already seeing shit book. Like, stop wasting time. Let's have this fun. I want to eat some meat pies. I want to smoke some joints with y'all, and bring this metal that people are feeling right now.
Everyone talks about the pies. Everyone always goes on about the pies.
Oh,
They already come. People
bro.
only come down for our pies, man. You know,
Bro, they're so good to us. Like we don't have shit like that. If we do, you buy in a store and you make it in like a microwave. That thing with the mashed potatoes or the
oh yeah.
pot the peas. Oh shit.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's a must, bro.
Have you had our? I was hanging with Amigo the Devil the
Oh
other
yeah,
night,
yeah.
and he was eating one of our chicken palmies, and he's like, "These chicken palmies are fucking greatest," and I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
man,
Bro,
yeah."
those are insane. And then, man, I can't remember. I think it's like something bugs. It's like a lobster, but it's flat.
Moreton Bay bugs.
Oh,
Yeah.
bro, I can't wait for those two, man. Those are stupid. It's like it doesn't even make sense how good that thing is.
I'm gonna get a whole pot of it when you're in Brisbane, and I'm just gonna
Oh,
like just deliver it. I'm just gonna here you go, man. You
I'll
can be
die. I'm never leaving, bro.
yeah. You
That,
gotta
that,
go on
that
stage. You're like, I haven't finished my bugs, man. Yeah, they're
I'll
good, eh?
fucking walk and dip in one as I enter the stage for sure. Like they're that good. If y'all ain't had them out there,
That's the
fucking
best.
insane.
The best. It's weird. It's so weird.
Yeah,
They got weird shit.
it's
um,
Australian, man. It's fucking cool. Better be weird shit down there. You know, it's like I I think people expect even crazier, but then you go to the zoo and then you get that because you see like the platypus
yeah.
and hold a koala and all that shit and trip out on like the kangaroo. It's just there's nothing like it in the world, man.
Yeah, it is. Where it's like we flip upside down and then just everything's just fucking weird and backwards. It's the best.
It's
I
just
take it for
cool.
granted. Yeah, I love it.
Oh, dude, if I could live anywhere in the world, it would definitely be down there for sure.
Right?
I just
Come on
gotta
down.
get a few $1 million to make that possible. But
All right. You never know.
eventually, man, eventually, I got some homies down there that can get me started. Though.
Nice, nice. But hey man, it's been really good catching up with you again. We're gonna have all the links down here and on the website, brother. Enjoy the rest of your day. Fucking
All right.
drop that album and go kick ass for the rest of the year. And we'll see you soon.
Hey, thank you so much, brother. You too. Mad respect, mad love, and I definitely want to have a pint and a joint with you sooner than later.
Let's go, bro. Let's do it.
All right, be safe, brother.